1, 2, 3, 4.
Josh and I met in the office that we both share. He just happened to walk past me one day and I just heard a whisper of Pokemon as he walked past.
I was walking past him with a policeman who I'd actually just bought a Pokemon base set sealed box from.
Later that day, I just went and found him. I was like, did I hear you talking about Pokemon cards?
He did actually, yeah, I just bought a box. He said, let me show you this.
And then I just opened my drawer at the desk and it was just stacks of new cards that had been showing up all the time. And then Josh said, well, come and look at what I've been doing. And then it turns out, we've both been doing the same thing. So
we were both using software to kind of streamline our workflow, and we were sharing our difficulties buying and selling cards on kind of existing marketplaces. The big issue that we kept coming across was just getting a good idea of what you're buying. Card condition is everything. So when you're looking at a card, if you're lucky, you might get half a dozen photos. They're often going to be so compressed that essentially they're blurry. So that gives you a real challenge as a buyer, and you have to spend so long meticulously, looking through the photos and trying to get as good a picture as you can. Sometimes you have to then go and ask the seller to clarify the condition of certain parts, etc. And it's just really, really time consuming and frustrating.
So we set about building a rig to do a better job. What we started off as a concept was, how close can we get to holding it in your own hand? That's really what you want to do. You want to be able to hold it with some light and see the damage, see the scratches. And it's not always about getting the perfect card right, but it's about knowing that what you're seeing is what you're getting. So it's taken us just over 2 years to get to where we are today, where we're taking hundreds of photos of both the front and the back and stitching it together into one seamless 3D image of the card.
So simply put, we take a lot of photos, good quality photos, very good quality photos, and we stitch them together in a way that allows you to rotate the card like it's a 3D model. And we think we've created really the next best thing to holding a card in your hand and inspecting it. And we think people are going to be amazed by it.
Kind of the big moment for me when we were doing all of this was we'd spent probably about 6 months playing around with gluing cards to chopsticks and pencils, and we finally settled on one where it was a webcam two-axis thing and a webcam pointing at it, and it took 10 photos of this card. Josh stitched it all together into the first viewer and sent me a link, and it was it's alive. And I just remember opening it so vividly and actually just playing with it on my phone and being like, oh wow, this is actually even with 10 photos, this is unbelievable. This is so much better than anything else out there. And I remember showing it to my wife, who was already sick of hearing about Pokemon cards and what we were doing. And she was like, that's actually pretty good. So that was a moment that was we should probably take this a bit more seriously and see how far we can go.
So we think we've created something that is as good as holding a card in your hand and inspecting it. I would even go as far as to say it's better, because you can zoom further, you can get closer than even a magnifying glass. We test it. You can see right into the CMYKs of the print. It's phenomenal.
What we want to do is give that ungraded market, which is the vast majority of the market still, the care and attention that it deserves. People out there who want to buy cards to get them graded, or the people out there who just prefer not having graded cards, should be able to go and buy cards from a marketplace which is given the same attention to as getting a graded card.
So what we've come up with is what we think is the future of buying and selling ungraded or raw cards. We think it blows everything else out the water, quite frankly. We're really proud of it, and we're really looking forward to sharing it with everyone.